Take two. I've done whole like 30-minute videos realizing my microphone wasn't plugged in. Bearded cob. So I made a little mixture this morning. Mel was kind enough to introduce me to my first Christmas blend, Christmas Spice, which is very good. And my buddy Neil at the Pipe Club gave me a Bengal slice. I half and halved it. It tastes really good. Now, people are telling me the reason they don't have more tough guy aromatics is that the sugars and all the sweet stuff kills the nicotine. And I wonder if that's something that happens during combustion, or is it something that's done when, you know, these blends sit together? Well, I try just, you know, let's not marry them. Let's just put them together and make love. Oops. Doing a VR today. Oh, real quick, I did my shout outs last video, and I talked about a guy that did a video about Watership Down, and I'm so glad I chose to watch this video back before I put it up, because I forgot to say his name. It's Spiro, S-P-I-R-O .geek, D-O-T-G-E-E-K, .geek. He's in New Zealand. I got a thing for Kiwi people. I really... In all my travels, man, they've always been the nicest people to hang out with on the train or whatever, I feel like. Always just real cool. Nice people all over the world, yes, but something special about them Kiwis. I got a thing for New Zealand horror movies and some other stuff. He says he likes horror movies and used to do special effects makeup and stuff. That's my kind of talk. Anyway, my VR's to Buckeye Piper. He's been doing this great series about growing up in the 80s. So if you haven't seen it, and that's a topic that interests you, or you just don't know Buckeye Piper yet, go check him out. Give him a sub. Watch his series. It's real fun. And I did have kind of a hectic weekend, and there was arguing around here, and I don't know what's going on, man. There's a, you know, we got a new puppy. It's been cool, and it's been a little havoc too, I must say. Back to my VR. I'm such a tweaker sometimes. We change topics on a dime. That's how I forgot to say Spiro's name. So anyways, Buckeye, I love your series, and I'm very glad to participate. I'm going to turn this down a little. So his last video, I would almost like to do a VR for his whole series, one for each. But I'm going to go ahead and start here, because he's going to do more toys in the 80s. As you can see, I'm a big giant man-child. I never quite put the toys away. Like pipes for me, this is like big boy toys. Like... kind of really is a symbol of me growing up a little bit, although you can still see my toys everywhere. And now I got a 2-year-old, and it's like, why put them away? You know? taken me using lighters more during videos. Anyways, Buckeye, what were my favorite toys in the 80s? I noticed you left out a lot of the obvious choices. The He-Mans, the G.I. Joes, the Transformers. Yeah, Star Wars. Yes, we all played with those. So, let's talk about other toys. I wish I would have brought it in here because stuck it up in my shower right now is Sucker Man. Sucker Man's one of my favorite toys of all times. And that's not my original Sucker Man. But basically he's a demon. And he's a big wobbly plastic guy. And he's flat on the back. And he's covered with suction cups. And the one I had then, glow in the dark. The one I have now is red. Which I told Kimmy this story of Sucker Man. And being the sweetheart Kimmy is, she found me a Sucker Man somehow. I don't even think it's really called Sucker Man. But basically, you grab one of Sucker Man's limbs. He has this great evil face. And you just slap him on things. And he sticks. The problem is he's kind of heavy, and if you hit a sliding glass door or something wrong with Sucker Man, it's gonna crack. But I was about 5 or 6 when I got my glow-in-the-dark Sucker Man. He's just a piece of rubber. My mom and dad took me to the mall. And my mom broke off with my baby sister, my little sister. And my dad had to kill some time, basically, at the mall, you know, with me. Neither one of us wanted to be there. But I was having a blast because I had Sucker Man on deck. He was, you know, he was my pal. And I was sticking Sucker Man all over the mall. Probably real obnoxious. And I found myself walking through the mall throwing Sucker Man up in the air. Towards the very high ceilings of the mall. And letting it come down and catching it. And of course, you guys already know that I threw it too high. And he stuck to the ceiling about 35 feet above us. In the mall, and I was horrified that Sucker Man was stuck up there. Now sometimes Sucker Man didn't stick so good, and you could just wait a minute and he would fall down. Sometimes, man, when you hit him right, Sucker Man was stuck. He wasn't coming down. My poor dad. I don't know how long we waited. You know, time is irrelevant to a 6-year-old. It was a long time. Eventually, we had to abandon Sucker Man on the ceiling of the mall. What was he gonna do? Go get a security guard to get a lift? Save the little boy's Sucker Man? Anyways, I loved Sucker Man a lot. What else did I have? I had so much stuff. I really did. But most of it was those main, you know, I did love my Star Wars and Transformers and G.I. Joe and Thundercats. I loved superheroes. In the 80s, it was actually kind of slow for superhero toys, really. But they did, in the early 80s or mid-80s, kind of have the Secret Wars and Superpowers lines. And I really enjoyed those. The Secret Wars was Marvel Comics. And they had a big crossover in the comics where everyone teamed up and went to this planet to fight this guy, the Beyonder, that was like God. And they made figures of just about everybody in the series except the Beyonder. Probably I could see some parents getting mad at the Beyonder. He was basically a... I don't know what he was supposed to look like. He was like some smooth, jerry curled kind of like cool dude with like an open collar and like Rico Suave, you know. But he had infinite powers, and if you bought a pack of Secret Wars socks, you got a Secret Wars comic book. And man, my mom bought me a lot of socks. I had Iron Man's and Hulk and Captain America and Wolverine socks for days. And I had the whole 12 issues of Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2. My favorite Secret Wars figure was Spider-Man, which Secret Wars figures came with these lame shields. The picture inside it changed when you move it back and forth. You know, the only one that should have come with the shield is Captain America. And they ruined his shield with a stupid moving picture. So I wasn't too worried about the accessories. But my mom made me be in the chess club in 4th and 5th grade. Calvary Chapel Christian School in Downey, California. She tried to make me do sports, and I just absolutely hated it. Hated it, and my team hated me because I hated it so much that I would mess up on purpose, and oh man, it was all bad. All bad. Serves you right. Years later, they found out I had a bone disease. So she put me in the chess club and figured, well, if he's not going to be a jock, maybe he'll be a good nerd. Which I had like a really high IQ as a little kid. Really high, like a genius. And they expected great things of me. Sorry to disappoint. But anyways, I hated chess club too. I didn't hate chess. I liked playing with my dad and stuff. I think they were Yugoslavian. The guy that ran the chess club, I think he was Yugoslavian. And his daughter was in my class, Yvonne. And she was a real nice girl, and we were friends. And she was kind of cute, you know. We were in 4th grade. My mom was trying to hook us up. Always trying to hook me up with some little girl. What a weirdo. But, it was on Saturday at school. Oh, come on. So she would drop me off for 4 hours into this chess club. Sometimes it was at their house, but sometimes it was at school. And, to me, it was just an opportunity to run around wild on the school while no one was supervising me, really, you know. And I found myself on the roof. Up there I found a Secret Wars Spider-Man, and I still have it. I used to carry that thing in my pocket everywhere I went. I was kind of weird like that. Another favorite was my Howdy Doody, not marionette, but ventriloquist dummy. I've always had a thing for ventriloquist dummies. And I had Lester. Remember Lester? He was a African-American dummy with glasses and an afro and a little flat cap. He had corduroy pants. I inherited that from my uncle, who's not much older than me. 8 years older than me. Buckeye, you're probably... sounds like you're 3 or 4 years older than me. I was 4 in 1980. You sounds like you're a few years older than me. But I had Lester. I had Pee Wee Herman's dummy, Billy Baloney, which I have. I should get out my dummies, guys. I still have Billy Baloney, and I still have Howdy Doody, which, since I've been very young, I've had a thing for Howdy Doody. He's before my time. You know, he did have a run in the 70s that lasted maybe until I was born, but I was too young to watch the newer Howdy Doody. And even now, sometimes I'll put on Howdy Doody and go to sleep at night. I love Howdy Doody, and I do have a Howdy Doody dummy. He came with a little record, how to be a ventriloquist. And I never really cared for the ventriloquism part. I just thought they were awesome toys. I loved robotics, putting together the parts and hooking up the engines and the little stuff, constructs. This video is getting long too. So anyways, there's a few of my 80s toys. You know, if I thought about it, I could probably think of a lot more, and we could categorize toys. I could make videos about cereal prizes, about action figures, about cars, about games, about the video games. Atari 2600, woo! We had about 50, 60 games for that thing, and they were expensive. Every time I think about, man, I grew up kind of poor, I think about how many Atari games we had. Yeah, you're not so underprivileged, Matt. They're the same price the games are now, about $60. This is so good. Oof. It did get me a little loaded at first. I guess I could talk about my one other. I'm going to talk about two things real quick. One, I went to Easter for strawberry shortcake, just a little dessert at my in-laws' house yesterday. And right now is crane fly season, or as my father-in-law was calling them, mayflies. And he was walking around yesterday with his answer to mayflies, or crane flies. He's got a gun. And I thought, there's no way this thing works at first. But it is awesome. Oh man, it's so cool. Yes, I've been walking around shooting this thing for a couple days. I just thought, speaking of toys, also, I had one other strange kind of interest for a child. I mean, he was marketed to kids, no doubt about it. Inappropriate as all get out. Somehow my mom thought it was okay to endorse my love for this child killer, Freddy Krueger, from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I mean, Freddy was like my hero. He was so cool. And I went to a Christian school. My parents weren't Christian. They just didn't want my little white butt in the LA public schools. Which, I don't regret going to Christian school. It made me who I am, partly. It made me hate God for a long time. I don't hate God anymore, thankfully. I'm sorry if that's your church. It's a big church. I don't mean I'm sorry you go there. I just mean I'm sorry to bring it up. I would never ever send a kid there. This is my purse when I go to the pipe club. My Freddy Krueger lunchbox, which is a new lunchbox. I mean, like 7, 8 years old. It's not from the 80s. But somewhere in my mom's garage in the old house is my Nightmare on Elm Street board game. And my indestructible rubber Freddy Krueger statue. That's what they marketed it as. You cannot break this thing. Okay. Actually, hanging on my bedroom wall is my Freddy glove. Uh, when I was in 6th grade, it was my 11th birthday. I went to school, and I came home from school to find a Freddy Krueger cake on the table in the kitchen, surrounded by my Freddy Krueger board game and toy. I had a Freddy Krueger themed birthday waiting at home. Not a party, just my mom put it together. I walked in the living room and there was a 6-foot inflatable Freddy Krueger. I was stoked. And I kept that thing in the hallway in front of my bedroom door because I thought it was funny that my sister had to walk past it at night if she had to go to the bathroom. She was pissed. So anyways, I really loved Freddy Krueger, and I had a lot of Freddy Krueger stuff. Okay, guys. Long VR. Thank you, Buckeye. I can't wait to see more of your stuff, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you very much. I think that was my mother-in-law texting. I hope it doesn't show up in the video. See you later, guys.